Sure, manager my friend Tonsho. When I get near enough, you're not going to pay almost every day. People can collapse, can be Mokono 3, Mokono 7, depending on any arrangement, no fee. Can in the Rania play 7 at a time. Mokono 1, Mokono 2. Different places. Today it may be here, tomorrow another place, and it keeps on going on.
Stephen takes me around to see the extent of damage caused by the tidal waves. He speaks of how he tried without success to create an artificial buffer for his building.
In 2 days, 3 days today, it's it should be a porch, be a small room and you bet a man or a small room and a man can around 3 a.m. a JBL. One of them showing when the pressure on the kebab in one more. Or can now what to that extent the beer no more because guess she tell me phone about the Siam the 2 and can be no naked, the whole building will be shaking. JB a pen cash, yes, sure, your man will be a fan. My family feel. We just hang around with one neighbor saying, I'm a shower no, but a ballet emergency.
But he is not alone. Kwesi, his neighbor, has been up since 3 a.m. planting beams to support the fast eroding foundation of his building.
Before we can't stay here, no. Now you know we so way this place day. They see day back, day back. As you can see the way the waves is, it's very, very, very scary. But what will you do? I have a 2 years kid, very, very young, who is with me, and it's not safe for her. It's not safe. But what will I do? I wake up this morning 3 a.m. So now I've not been able to go to bed. I have to be here working. And it's not easy as being said. It's not easy as being said. Building, putting structures down, spending so much money, and all that. Suddenly, it's not easy as it's been said that we can just relocate, but it's not easy. Getting the room to rent is another issue altogether. So, and even if we move out, it doesn't solve the problem. Even if we move out, it doesn't solve the problem because the sea keeps on coming. So when we move out and then our building gets into the sea will still come. And it will get to another tenant or another building and then it will just be going. So the government has to make a permanent solution for this thing. So that all of us in Dansooma and its environment will be free because there was a building here. The one living in this structure, there was a building here, a very big, huge building, but then the sea has just demolished that building. So, I don't know, he doesn't want to lose the land. As they were doing the project, he was thinking the project would just come so that he will secure his land and then start his project again. But yesterday they are not coming, so he doesn't want to leave the land and then at the end of the day, when they do the project, and someone will just come and occupy that land.
The situation has incensed a lot of other residents whose buildings are only hanging by a thread.
In Bragbo, Benote Alaoba, into Eku, Bianekoya Haitu, Otami no Beno now Bieshe, Eko Bianea Hane, Numinde Genteaka, Inteyala Benimban, any be fair tonu. Esha to come Pabasha, no new and no nation and chair, Eshife Yomo, Wabanebaka show one, Weku, let any machine war, Kajalebi Yokuni.
Very serious. One Kasawahu from here to the beach road, Minim say a Hano and Ghana, Hodia, and they should come and talk something about Usha a fee, Choco de Besiha. Akwayeti says Zongo, a Nipa a Guhano, in billions, I a Tuaba, into Yenipa. Yantia say, young William Kotna, a Srohanzua, or Momefai.
When the tide becomes very strong, it really affected the houses just at my back. If you look around, you could see that most of the houses has broken down due to the strong waves that comes in. It's not safe at all. It's not safe at all. If you are here, getting to around 5 o'clock that way, you see how strong the waves are. And it easily comes in, going into people's houses.
The kids here are literally petrified. They look on helplessly as the only places they have known to be home continue to be broken away, building after building.
To commit, it's a commature affair. No, me, I drive in the mask. Need to no election on it to a connect basin. And no, mammy can papa, question any basin. But tell me, maybe I made that. And I'm more than one, I made that you may say, said I knew. And I'm never my minimum papa in my appear. Yeah, but she not dining in the but now want to my day change. I said, I'm in school.
Say, it's only basa. Only Mr. Savannah, dining bubu. Dine, a jarabu, your honor, and a baku, aside bubu. Yet now, and I saw bubu, and I see Uncle Bill Uncle, and can we a Tony Swanka. And can send it pani we wanna.
This 2-kilometer sea defense project is being executed by Sidalco Construction Limited, partly to reclaim some of the lost land and also protect the buildings along the coastline from the devastation of the ocean. Work started here in November 2015 and was to be completed by 2018. But that was not to be, as several challenges including logistical constraints and issues of payment certificates delayed the completion of the project up until now. Charles Owusu is the assemblyman for the Glefe-Gbegbese electoral area.
And they told us that the sea level is higher than the community. So if we can stay safe here, unless they construct a sea defense for us. Since the construction of the sea defense, you see, they started from Glefe Enclaves, and now here is Akwetema, but they have stopped here. So we called on our MP, which is in the person of Honorable Esla Owusu. And she came here last time with, I think, the housing minister or so, and they came and looked at it, and then they said, okay, government have awarded the contract, that same contractor, but the contractor said they need clearance before they can continue the job. So that is how far we have gotten to. People are losing their homes. Families have been broken into parts because when a whole house, I think a lot of houses are in the sea now. While we are standing here, what we are seeing all is here is in the sea. The homes have been collapsed already, but the contractor also made us know that we shouldn't build, from now onwards, we shouldn't build closer to the defense, let's say 30 meters. We should stay away from like a buffer zone, 30 meters. We should give a 30 meters space. So as you can see, me and the assembly, the municipal assembly and the chiefs, we decided that then we are going to use coconut trees to make some boundary, that nobody is going to come beyond the coconut tree, so that the 30 meters can be reserved for the sea defense.
An initial 1.6-kilometer wall has been constructed from Pambros to Glefe area. This has significantly saved buildings covered by the wall. Except some of the residents here decided to make a living out of winning the sand at the beach.
Okay. You look at the environment very well. When you look at the environment, the buildings actually, it's like the sand all is from the seaside, and that's their job, and that's what they are doing. Take whereas like maybe more than some truck, something they use truck. You understand? They use trucks. They use in the midnight. In the midnight, they just do those jobs.
This place, the contractor or the project manager told us that what they have done here, when we stop the sand winning, the sea itself will bring more sand, and it will hit here, and it will go inside the sea, and this and the stones are going to be one level. But the guys here will not allow the sea to bring the sand. The more the sand is coming, the more they are winning it. And they win the sand at the dawn, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., before they come for the sand winning. And if you don't know and you come and you are trying to stop them, what they will do to you, sometimes they are holding cutlasses and other weapons to fight against you. So it makes it difficult for individuals here to confront them.
As you could see, well, the current of the ocean have washed the entire, shore. And indeed, what we have are roots of old coconut trees, I must assume, inside the clay, giving you an indication of how deep the erosion, has taken place. And that's really the situation here. And as the people build on top of the land, you could see that the building sitting on top of this rock underneath, which has been washed away by sea erosion. Now there are layers of the soil there, giving you an indication of just about 3 feet of the sand here. All of it has been washed down deep into the floor of the shore. Now what you're having is raw clay sitting right here, telling you that the ocean has been really destructive.
Soon we meet Stephen again. The tidal waves have wreaked more havoc since our last visit. This time, he's visibly livid.
Just a voting time, I'm my back. I'm big campaign. One mammy. I'm a Benon about your own. What did the man with all? I'm about coming about my money now. I'm about you. I'm making back for how long? For how long? Because it has been almost 5 good years and then we're born struggle more. He's away. Assemble my away. Anytime need pressure about more or less, work a few around. None you have never like me, my little. For how long? Many improvements, young. Down the one struggle. Down. Make my young two money or near Yampunia Tosh can never see because we'll say back at no buyer. We are demon on our about only being young. Air for Naka. Ni youth, no one struggle, mammy, no one do, no one survive it. I could say I add pressure to our problem. Every blessed day, no coffee. Nekeson, they are. Oh, lent down and one struggle won't feel only be 1-on-1. Nika you hear back a finance minister near sign, I look at sign. Well, take 10 years, then they can sign. Get what fit a man be here, be a bache, a man now.
So that's an agitated resident in the area who just, venting his spleen. Indeed, about the delay of the project, his concern is that, the project has been constructed up until a certain point and the rest have been left. He says he's in fact questioning why they have to be left to their fate to continue to suffer, as it were, to be doing their own manual sea defense project. And he admits that the strength that they have is nothing compared to what the sea is bringing, and makes reference to the several visits by politicians and other leaders who come here to canvass for votes, but when these issues happen, are nowhere to be found. He is indeed calling for urgent action for the issue to be resolved. In less than 24 hours after our last visit to the shore, these two buildings have all collapsed, and as you saw in the previous shot, we're just right here speaking about the devastation being caused by the ocean.
Like Stephen, a lot of the other residents here have taken to carrying the rocks meant for the sea defense project to provide some form of protection for their houses.
MP muna de adebemu na mo di baku wetu enim se ombeya mai no so omunye afide this year share madam for baku no share enim wo ni nyina no 3 days we na sada ni nyina ebubuko mi ana me bo omu sisa bo we ni nyina e ka kire omu se ombebu e na omu ye city defense na mo si omu ye nkire omu se ombe ye se nti se na mo kire omu na mo ye na ye wa honde a ti me file e dan nti a ye mbe sisa na e betumi asisa ba omu ntumi nye mai.
I don't know the authorities concerned. They look on, and people always go in, started picking up the stones which has been used as a sea defense to patch, their houses in order to prevent the sea from coming around.
The contractor has had calls to alter the design of the remaining 400 meters to allow for a landing site for the fishermen in the area. The spot for the intended landing site dovetails into the piece of land which houses the only medical facility in the area, the Royal Memorial Hospital. This facility serves the entire Glefegbe Basin and several adjoining communities. The hospital stands just some 10 meters away from the last standing structure at the shore. The nurses here practically work in fear. Dorcas Mensah is one of the nurses at the surgical theatre of the facility.
Some time ago, we were having a case done at a theatre whilst we cut a patient's abdomen open, and then all of a sudden we had a shake in the ground, and everything, the towels and then the bed the patient was on, everything sank down, which was very scary. It later on went to the females ward. They also had a crack. The whole floor broke down, the towels and everything.
And there's more.
And also our instruments, the metal instruments that we use, due to the sea, the salt and all that, it ended up rusting. The TVs and all that, when they bring them here, they do not stay for a long time because of the sea breeze and all that. Computers too as well. Yes, computers too as well. Autoclave machine we are using, mini one, and we are not the only people using it. The theater, the labor ward people also bring their instruments, and then the OPD people also bring their instruments here to be autoclaved. And as you can see here, it's rusted, and it even has a cover, but due to it's being rusted, it has fallen off, so we have to adjust this always when we are to autoclave instrument.
For now, the contractor claims to be considering other options that will be useful in protecting what is left in the community.
The lives of thousands of people continue to hang in a balance here at the shores of the Dansoman Beach, while their lives are being threatened by the violent waves of the ocean. Their houses, and indeed what they call homes, are being swept away with each passing day. The only facility in the area, the Royal Hospital, stands tall now, but for just a couple more weeks, if nothing is done to ensure that the violent waves are blocked from having access into their homes. Reporting for Joy News, Manuel Cranting.